In February 2015, Waterford union members began organizing a grassroots response to a costly arrangement proposed to keep the district's retired superintendent on as an interim for another school year. The majority of the Board of Education were behind a deal that threatened to further delay a permanent replacement to lead the district schools, and which appeared to violate state laws that prohibit double dipping by retired public servants. After the school board voted to proceed with the deal, Waterford teachers reached out to inform and mobilize the community.
It's easy to hear and see how AFT, the teachers union in Waterford, feels about the superintendent's salary.
With a series of print, radio, and online ads, they got the word out to parents, students, and residents, and helped turn out hundreds to a March 18th Board of Education meeting where the deal was expected to get a final vote. Instead, the superintendent made the surprise announcement that he was not accepting the extension and would step down at the end of the current school year.
I have decided to complete my post-retirement contract with the Board of Education on June 30th, 2015, and retire from the Waterford Public Schools.
While the majority of the board had backed the deal, 2 members had opposed it from the beginning.
I was concerned about all the phone calls I was receiving, not only from teachers, but from parents, from grandparents, and I just don't feel it was a good atmosphere, because if the teachers are not happy, then the students aren't happy.
Many union members, parents, and residents who came to urge the school board to make better choices during public comment spoke after the announcement about their school's future.
I just wanted to assure you, the board, and Jody specifically, that even though there may be issues with morale, the children never know.
The Board of Education has a responsibility to the students and the population of our community to set an example of integrity that is beyond reproach as they conduct their business. I believe that this board has failed to uphold that responsibility in this matter and has performed in an unsatisfactory manner, especially with communication of the details to the community and the population of our town.
Our past superintendents, who have done a darn good job, filled interim positions while they waited for their replacements to be hired, and they all worked for the 45% legal maximum compensation. And why weren't they given a contract like that after 12, 19 years of service? Weren't they deserving of one after all those years? And our final thought is, when you leave this board and you work on it, what is the message you send to the children of Waterford when you make a deal like this?
When Mr. Belair retired, as I said at the last meeting, he put you guys in a bind, right? He signed a contract and he retired. So for this year, I can understand why you signed him to the post-retirement contract, right? You're in a bind, you had to do something, he's a good super, so you did what you had to do. At that time, you should have started a search committee to find a new superintendent for next year. If somebody retires, they retire. Enjoy your retirement, Mr. Belair. I wish you nothing but the best, seriously. But you should have started a search committee as a Board of Ed at that time. You should have hired a search firm and made sure a super was in place for July 1st. But you waited, and you waited until a bunch of people started clamoring and complaining to do the right thing.
And so the Attorney General today has announced that he is undergoing an investigation to form an opinion based on what the TRB is doing in cases such as yours, Superintendent. So I want to thank Waterford for bringing this to the forefront, because Waterford is not the only town in this state that is dealing with this.
And I want to thank all the teachers in this room. I don't hear that too often from anybody, and I thank you for educating my children. I put 2 children through the Waterford school system. Both have graduated from high school here. I have another one now, a foster child who's attending the Friendship School, and I hope that he continues on and become successful. And the reason that most of us are here tonight is because we're interested in how this system is working. And so you say that you're going to start a search committee. I hope that you put some of these very good Waterford teachers on that search committee so that we can find a new superintendent.
By uniting their community to hold the school board accountable, Waterford teachers have shown the way to reclaim the promise of a great public education for all students.